This is the Star Wars Celebration, Episode 1, 20th Anniversary, the Phantom Menace Black Series, in the 6-inch scale, Darth Maul. I was able to pick up a couple of these figures at my local hobby shop. And before anybody goes aghast and say, "Don't open it! No, this thing is so amazing! Keep it in card!" Well, I actually bought two so that I could open one up and show you guys and do a review on it. Out here in Manila, there were a couple of stores selling it. One was Our Toys. Our Toys was selling it as a set with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you could get it for about $78, $78 or $76. I got it at about $77 plus tax and all that, so $78 for the set. And Hobby Corner had the Darth Maul figure. They didn't have the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They only had Darth Maul, and it was going for about $40. So about the same price. Some issues though that I would like to talk about before we do the review very quickly. If you're picking through several in the shop, the first thing you want to look at are the cards. There are a lot of cards that have creases, and you know, I saw perfect cards but had quality issues with the figure. So it was really a difficult process just trying to get one that was a perfect card and a perfect figure. And the reason it's been creasing, it's because the way it's been packed. The Hasbro shipping box does not have foam or anything to prevent the cards from being folded this way and that way, so just be wary of that. The corners will have some creasing as well, and these figures are, I guess, mainly for the mint in box collectors. They're great as it is. And if you want to open them up, it's great, I'm pretty sure, but you can always wait for the regular release, because this one is going to be released in the Red Line Black Series, and these are going to be released, this Darth Maul figure is going to be released in the Archive line. So it's the same figure, and you know, and I personally think the reason for getting these figures are for the card backs. Okay, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you're sifting through several, the one thing you want to notice is the paint, the wash that they put on the face. Make sure that you get one that's properly aligned. The lips, the wash on between the lips and the eyes and the hair, make sure it's perfect. I did see one that was absolutely perfect. However, the silver on the hilt of the lightsaber was cracking. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was haphazardly painted, and I felt like it was a shame, because the card was great, the figure was great, but the lightsaber, wow, the silver wasn't even shiny. It was cracking all over, and it was a shame. But so that's what you have to look out for: paint on the belt, silver paint on the hilt, and the paint on the face. Everything else is fine. The sort of beige and brown paint bleeding into each other, that's okay. It's unavoidable. As for Darth Maul, you will notice that in packaging, most of the lightsaber blades are going to be sort of curving, and it's really the fault of the inner shell, because of the way the holes have been punched and the way the hilt's been placed like this. So all the Darth Maul figures I've seen, the sabers are pretty bent, and these were the most perfect ones that I could sift through and I could find. They're the most straight ones, so it's unavoidable, sadly. And if you notice in these two packages, this is how the binoculars should be placed. This one is a little bit annoying, but it's been popped out, and I for the life of me I can't put it in just by pressing on the clamshell. And so we will be opening up this one and keeping this one mint on card. On paint apps, hardly anything to complain about, because he's done in all black, and it's only the face that you have to look out for. Just make sure the eyes are painted correctly where they should be painted, and that the tattoos on his face should be properly aligned. I've seen some that had the middle, those diamond pattern in the middle of the bridge of his nose. Some were to the left, some were to the right, mostly to his left, and it's a shame. And also on the chin, there were a lot of inconsistencies with that last part on his chin, that sort of snake tongue, fork tongue type of tattoo on his chin, and some were smudged. some were blurred, some were very dark, some were very light. So just be wary of that. And as always, the red and black bleeding into each other. Just be wary of that. So the process of selecting a perfect figure can be a tedious one if you're kind of the perfectionist collector like me. And here is Darth Maul out of packaging with Qui-Gon Jinn. Dun, 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 dun. It's pretty cool. I mean, I always loved the Darth Maul character and all the action figures, and between Darth Vader and Darth Maul, I mean, it's a tie for me. These are my two favorite Star Wars figures, together with Luke Skywalker. But Darth Vader, Darth Maul, my favorite villains. And you know what? To be quite honest, I was a little bit disappointed with this figure. Not because of the way it is, but for some weird reason, back at Toy Fair when it was announced, I was led to believe that we were going to get a slightly new figure with a different head sculpt, and that this new figure would have the whole cloak removable and it would reveal the spiked head. But as it is, we get the exact same figure, like the orange line. And the only main difference really is the type of plastic they used for the not soft goods, but the soft PVC cloak. And they used the new photoreal face painting technology on both the head sculpts. It was a little disappointing because I don't know, for some reason I actually thought we would just get one head sculpt and then you would be able to remove this whole garb and reveal it. But as it is, it's the exact same figure, from the boots to the sculpt, the molding of the legs, the thighs, and all that. The only major difference, like I said, is this is a little bit more of a matte finish, as you can see, and this one has a little bit of a gloss or sheen to it. The inner robe looks to be the same. The soft goods material, it's a little bit shinier on the newer on the Celebration version, but as you can see, even on the cowl, this one is a tad bit shinier. This one's really matte. I don't know if they put a wash on it or if it's a whole new different plastic, because it's as soft as this one, but I think it's a little glossier. I honestly thought we would be getting a new sculpt. So let's take a look at the head sculpt. So on the left is the one with the photoreal face painting technology, and then this is the first version. The way the eyes were painted, kind of comic-y looking type of eyes, but it's not bad. And I think it's only the eyes that really changed. Because the horns, the whole tattoos, and red and black paint apps on the head sculpt didn't really, change at all. In fact, the paint apps on the quality on the previous version are actually much better than these ones, because you get to see some blurred lines here and there. But if you look closely at the eyes, yeah, it's definitely an improvement, but not that much. I mean, I could live with this one. I mean, if you already have the previous version, doesn't really, it's not like you have to get the second version, because the first version is actually a pretty good figure. Okay, you get a comic book looking Darth Maul with the first version, first release, and then the Celebration is a little bit more movie accurate because of those photoreal eyes. But again, they're great figures. Lightsaber is essentially the same. I don't think they changed anything at all. Even the plastic they used for the blade, I don't see any big changes. They didn't make it more vibrant or less vibrant, or just glossier or whatnot. But even the hilt, the way it's been painted, it's essentially the same. I don't see any differences in it. For the new version, you can remove the blade. It's on a flared peg that's much thicker than previous ones, which were prone to breaking. The original blade's basically the same. So they didn't change anything with the lightsaber blades. Okay. All right, and just for comparison's sake, this is the photoreal tech, and then this one is the original release, and this one is the SH Figuarts version. So I think the Hasbro version in the middle, the Celebration one, to me, I think looks very nice, and it probably, for me, looks a lot better than the SH Figuarts, because for a long time the SH Figuarts was a heck of a lot better than the previous released Hasbro version. But with the new photoreal tech, I think the Hasbro version is the best. And for the binoculars, binoculars look to be the same. Same wash, same paint treatment, same sculpt. They didn't really change anything. So, on a final note, is it a great figure? Definitely. I always love Darth Maul figures, and the Black Series Darth Maul figure is probably one of the best Black Series figures by Hasbro. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. A little bit disappointed that we didn't get a single head sculpt with a removable cowl or removable cloak. But as it is, I think it's a great figure. If you missed out on the first version of Darth Maul, this one has the photoreal tech. You can get him as a Celebration exclusive, and he's going to be out in the second wave of the Archive series. Having said that, should you go and get both? Should you go get one and sell off the other? I don't think so. I think both figures are worth keeping. You don't have to sell the first version. I was thinking of actually selling the first version since I already have this one. I have two of them. But I think I'm going to keep both versions and probably sell off my second copy of the Celebration exclusive. But it's a great figure nonetheless. I'm glad it's been reissued. I'm hoping we get the same treatment as some of the figures, some of the characters from the Empire Strikes Back line or movie, and because it's also celebrating its anniversary, and I'm hoping for big things from Hasbro on that regard. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Star Wars Celebration exclusive, the Black Series Star Wars Episode 1 20th Anniversary Special Edition of The Phantom Menace, Darth Maul. Thanks for watching.